United. This is Brian.
Jason.
And this is the Perfectly Screwed Podcast. A little Frank Sinatra for your morning. Well, it's our morning. I don't know what the fuck it is for when you're listening to it. Probably morning. I think most of y'all listen to us on the way to work, maybe. Hopefully.
Unless you're overseas, it's morning.
I mean, all 45 of you. Hey, you know what? I gotta say, we've got some loyal fucking listeners. It might only be 49 or 50 of you motherfuckers, but let me tell you something. You are loyal as hell, because I look at the stats every week, and it's the same motherfuckers every week. And
we see you.
Yeah, you might not be spreading the word, but at least you're dedicated. I gotta give you that. Trump, have you heard about Trump, man? He's in trouble.
Is he?
Yes. They're going to nail him with this Mar-a-Lago thing, dude. I mean, I hate to say it because, well, he's such a comedy showcase. But they're going to fuck him on this Mar-a-Lago thing, or Mar-a-Lago, or Mag-a-Largo, or whatever the fuck it is. His place in Florida where they found all the classified documents.
Well, what kind of documents did they find, do we know?
Well, they didn't say exactly, but they say they're classified documents he wasn't supposed to have. I mean, that alone, so you're not allowed as the president just to take classified documents out of the White House and say, oh, well, it's all good and well because I used to be president. You got to give them back.
So he basically stole them from the White House?
Well, no, they were in his possession, but when your presidency ends, you're supposed to hand them back to the proper authorities, give them to the archives or whoever, takes care of all that stuff. You're not supposed to take them to your vacation home in Florida.
Well, I guess my question is, if there's classified documents that only the president is supposed to be handling, there should be an inventory of such, and I would think that once he is, leaving the White House, whenever that last day is, that inventory should be taken. Well, why would it take this long to...
Well, no, there was an inventory. That's how they knew the documents were missing.
But it just seems like it's been a while.
Well, yeah, because they asked him politely to return them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. They tried to work around this without involving the Justice Department. They said, excuse me, do you have these documents? And he's never responded. And then the archive said, hey, yo, man, we kind of... need those documents. And he never responded, so finally they turned it over to the FBI. They're like, look.
Well, I don't understand what game he's playing either, then,
He's a narcissist. He believes he can do whatever the fuck he wants. So therefore, he thought, they're my documents, fuck you, I don't have to turn them over to anybody, because he's a narcissist.
As far as being in trouble, what kind of consequences are we talking about?
Well, they could hit him with espionage. They could hit him with a lot of different charges, but mainly espionage and possession of classified material. Once you're not president anymore, you're no longer in the government. You're no longer to have classified material.
But he's not going to go to jail.
He could. Probably not. They would probably just settle for a conviction so he can't run again. That's what it's all about. They don't want him in office again, which personally I would love him in office again because I love the comedy. The things he says that pops out of this dude's mouth is better than any comedy stand-up I could ever invent. It was amazing. It was just, the first 4 years was just funny every week. It was like you read a new thing that Trump tweeted, and I'm like,
right.
It's lovely. It was just a whole comedy showcase. And Biden is doing so terribly that, his 4 years are up. He's only going to be in one term and gone.
Who's going to be the next president?
I don't know. Whoever runs for the Republican ticket, I would assume, because they're damn sure not going to elect Biden into office again. So now with gas at $7 a gallon, and
you don't have any idea who it's going to be or who it might be.
No. We won't know till next year when they start, trying to run and stuff. And then it depends on who wins the primary. So, But yeah, they'll probably be a Republican because they're just tired of Biden's, shuffling around bullshit.
Yeah.
Plus, he's 80. How much can he make it another 4 years? That's what I wonder.
I've never gotten into politics. I don't vote.
You should vote. Everybody should vote.
The day that
because if you don't vote, you can't bitch.
The day that I can select somebody into office and not elect somebody into office, then I'll vote.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter if you vote or not.
No,
whoever the powers that be want in office is going to be in office, period.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, that's just...
You're not voting for a selection.
No,
you're voting to elect one of the two fucking bozos that whoever's in charge.
And your vote doesn't matter anyways. It's a stage show.
Has no idea. No,
yeah, it's a stage show.
It doesn't, because it goes down to the electoral college.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, your vote.
And that's still a stage show too, because they don't... I mean, there's nobody to prove those are the votes that went in.
No.
They tell you that. And everybody goes, yep.
And it's like, what? Like 4 fucking states that even really matter?
yeah. Really, Ohio, California, Pennsylvania, Florida.
Right.
That's about all.
Because they have
New York.
They have all the electoral college votes.
I know, because they have the most people, yeah.
That's just
It amazes me that Ohio has that many people in it. Especially as poor and as low job market as Ohio is.
It's big.
Yeah, it is kind of big. You're right.
A big state.
Yeah, because you're right. Because it takes like 4.5 hours to get across Ohio if you drive straight across.
And it's got... I mean, you got Cleveland, Cincy, Columbus.
Well, yeah, you do got some big
Toledo.
states. Toledo, yeah. You got some big cities
Dayton.
in there. Yeah, Dayton. Yeah, that's true. The biggest cities we got in Indiana are, what, Fort Wayne, Indy? That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, we got New Albany down south, but that's damn near Kentucky. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Anywhere down in southern anywhere down in southern Indiana, it's kind of, for anybody who doesn't know, southern Indiana is like Kentucky Junior. It's like Kentucky, but just, you know, a little less. It's still redneck as hell. The farther you get down there, it's like dun 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 dun.
It's like a game of hot and cold.
Yeah.
You're getting warmer. You're
almost to redneck.
You're burning up.
As you travel to southern
Indiana, you're burning up.
Yeah, the banjo starts playing. Dun, dun,
right.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
Squeal like a pig.
Yeah, all of a sudden you see meth houses on every corner, just like Louisville. It's like Louisville Junior.
That's any town anymore.
Well, that's true, yeah. Well, not ours. I mean, there are meth houses here, but they keep them concealed mostly. It's not like, you know, New Albany or Louisville where it's just like...
I think ours is like more of like a meth hotel room.
yeah.
The old Hart Motel.
Yeah, they got the old Hart Motel room, and, you know, they're cooking some meth in a 2-liter bottle.
With 2 walls in the roof blown out.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably why you're only paying $10 a night.
$10 a night. That's right. If you want a cheap
Great deals.
Yeah, if you want a cheap place to live, $100 a week, go get you a room at the Hart. That's less than that's.
Just make sure that you know bring plenty of face masks, because we're going to need you to have a face mask on, and it has nothing to do with COVID.
Nothing. Speaking of face masks, did you hear about Bill Murray lately? Oh God, dude.
No.
Oh, he's in trouble. I guess during 2019, during COVID, he was doing a movie that is going to be released very soon. And I guess he said playfully, but he ended up paying this bitch $100,000, so I don't know how playful it was. But I guess he'd been flirting with her on and off on the set. And Bill Murray, if no one knows, is considered a big, humongous asshole in Hollywood. I mean, he's an asshole. He dunked Seth Green when he was a child into a trash can and said, "This is where the trash belongs."
That's just funny.
Yeah, but he went off on Gina Davis, screamed at her, called her a worthless bitch on set. I mean, he used to belittle Mike Myers and Adam Sandler and Chris Farley. He was just a complete douche.
Right.
Okay, Bill Murray's known as a big ass douche. He's kind of like Chevy Chase, big douche hole. But so... recently, he threw this female staffer on a bed that was used during a scene. And this wasn't during a scene. He just randomly pushed her on the bed and started jumping on top of her and grinding sexually, and then kissed her with his mask on, face to face. And she goes, "I took that as sexual harassment." Well, no shit, it's sexual harassment.
I mean, I don't know what else you would take it as.
Yeah, he said he was joking. Joking? Shit, last I checked, I don't joke with women I don't know by throwing them onto beds and grinding on them.
Well, not if I'm trying to be funny.
No. You lost funny the moment you tossed her on a bed and started straddling her, man.
I mean, maybe if like you just got down and like humped her leg like a dog.
Oh God,
that'd be a
little funny. But throwing her on a bed, I mean, Jesus. And plus, Bill Murray's like in his 80s, so can you imagine those saggy balls just slapping, just hitting her right on her butthole?
Yeah, he is old, so he's got that going. Like, I don't know what I was doing.
No, he knew what he was doing. He paid her $100,000.
There must be dementia set there.
I mean,
I have no idea what.
Well, it cost him $100,000. So, which really to Bill Murray, that's probably nothing. So
right, and probably worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely worth it. I mean, he probably got pussy the last time Eisenhower was in office.
I give him credit, man.
I mean, I think
it's one of those things like How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
the naked man.
Yeah, the naked man.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
like I'm just gonna give it a shot. Yeah. Maybe she'll reciprocate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
maybe
saying?
not. I mean, what's the worst she can say?
Not, what's $100,000?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even the naked man's actually even more brilliant because if she says no, I mean, you've lost nothing. I mean, if you don't try it, you're going home without pussy.
And it works 2 out of 3 times.
Right, 2 out of 3 times, right, every single time, yeah. What else is in the news I wanted to mention? Actually, this coincides with what we're going to talk about today. Suge Knight's son. You know who Suge Knight is, right?
Yeah.
Death Row Records, marrying Suge Knight. His son just came out with something in the media stating that Tupac is not dead. He has proof that Tupac's not dead. The photos were staged, and he is living in Malaysia. And this is about the 3rd time he said this. He said Tupac was part of the Illuminati, one of the main characters, and he had to get out of the country very quickly because of shit that was going down, and they didn't want him apprehended, so they faked his death. Which I kind of, a lot of conspiracy theories I'm not on board with. This one sounds pretty believable because Tupac came out with some really good records way after his death. I mean, recording a few tracks before you die, I understand. Recording
what
3 whole albums.
What year did he die?
96.
So 25 years, 26 years.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't discard anything to be true. You know what I'm saying? He very well could be alive. I just have a hard time believing in 26 years that not one person has gotten a picture on a cell phone or something.
Well, if he's in Malaysia and chilling out in that country and not leaving the country.
They don't have cell phones in Malaysia.
Well, yeah, but...
Of course.
But, I mean, he's not going to go around looking like he did in 1996 either. I'm sure he grew his hair out, grew a beard. I mean...
26 years? We would at least have, like, a picture of somebody that's like, look at this dude that looks just like Tupac.
Well, they've shot pictures that said it was Tupac, but they were from far away, grainy, The whole Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot picture thing. Oh, he was running away. It was grainy. I swear to God, it's a UFO.
Where are you seeing the videos or the audio of the Suge Knight's son saying this?
I was reading it on Smart News, which is a news service.
It could just be,
well, he posted
publicity stuff.
Well, he posted it on his Instagram, and this is the 3rd time he's posted it.
Trying to get likes.
Oh, maybe, but he removes it very quickly because people start telling him to hush, and all of a sudden the post is deleted quick. So it's almost like some people want you to shut the fuck up. And if he is Illuminati, or if he is in a secret society of some type, those guys protect their shit pretty well. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
They're not going to allow that to get out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep it. You're going to do what we say, but, we have seen what happens when you go against secret societies.
What exactly were they protecting Tupac from, though?
Well, he had a murder charge. He was going to go to prison for the rest of his life. This was his 3rd strike on like a manslaughter charge or a battery charge, something like that. But yeah, he had a 3rd strike. He was gone. Bye-bye. So if he was in the Illuminati, they're going to protect their own. I mean, just look at Scientology. I mean, I'm not saying the leader of Scientology killed his wife, but I'm saying she's never been seen for the last 10 years.
But if Illuminati is running the show behind the scenes, why would they have to hide one of their own?
Well, if he's going to prison, they'd want to hide him.
But what I'm saying is, if they're that in charge, wouldn't they just be able to keep him out of prison?
Possibly. But it depends on how. Well, it depends on how open the charge is. I mean, if everybody knows about it, how can they keep him out of prison without revealing themselves?
Yeah, true.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, the secrets of the society are number one.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Illuminati, that's what we're talking about today. And do you know where the Illuminati came from? Anything about them?
It was started by Adam Weishaupt in 1776.
Yes.
May 1st, May Day.
Yeah, May Day. Yeah,
May Day, May 1st, 1776.
And we still celebrate May Day.
May Day, on May 1st, 1776, the Illuminati was started.
Yes.
On July 4th, 1776, the United States was started. Coincidence? I think not.
I'm just saying.
Throwing it out there.
Just putting it out there. Not saying that it has any coalition, but I'm just putting it out there.
I am.
Yeah.
Not a coincidence.
Not a coincidence at all.
There are no coincidences, folks.
And do you know what the goals were about the Illuminati? This is interesting, because as I was reading about them, I found out why it was started in the first place.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know why?
No, not exactly, I guess.
Okay, he opposed the Catholic Church ruling the way they did. Because up until then, as we know, the Catholic Church and the government was the same thing. Just saying, King James.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, King James. Rewrote the Bible to say what he wanted it to say. Not saying, it had any political agenda whatsoever, but it did.
So you're saying that they had a problem with the Catholic Church going around the world and just murdering and raping and plundering and pillaging for anything that they wanted?
Yes,
okay.
He believed that politics should be separate from religion. Again, what does it say in the Bill of Rights there, Constitution? Separation of church and state.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that, our forefathers had anything to do with the Freemasons or the Illuminati. I'm just saying the Illuminati believed in separation of church and state, and our main principles in this country are separation of church and state. Again, nothing, just coincidence.
Yeah.
Just coincidence that was in the main document that we celebrate, but that, it was also the main principles of the Illuminati. But yeah, he started it mainly to stop the religious influence over public life and the abuse of states' power under the guise of religion. So he said in their general statutes, they wanted order of the day is to put an end to the machinists of the purveyors of injustice, to control them without dominating them. So he was basically saying the church is controlling you without dominating you, and they're using religion as a way to make you do what they want you to do.
They're tricking you, they're manipulating you. This is why they call themselves the Illuminati, because they're illumined, or they're enlightened to the truth.
Now, the Elector of Bavaria, which was a elected position, clearly, it was like a prime minister or something of that nature, was Charles Theodore. And in 1784, 1785, 1787, and 1790, he outlawed all secret societies, including the Illuminati, with the encouragement of the Catholic Church. Now, again, of course, the Catholic Church had nothing to do with this. They just encouraged. They didn't, get their hands in the government or, work their way into the government in any way, shape, or form. They just encouraged him, hey, it'd probably be a good idea if we stop all these secret societies running around because they're really bad for business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're really cutting into our profits, guys.
Yeah, they're getting into the bottom dollar.
Yeah, we can't have this.
The word Catholic means universal.
Oh, yeah.
So the Catholic Church doesn't just think that they own and control you. They think that they fucking own and control the universe.
Well, they do have their own city. I mean,
yeah.
And their own bank. And they do control the Vatican City completely. I mean, you know, they're their own government inside that city. So
they're a multi-trillion-dollar business.
Of course they are. And during subsequent years, they were vilified by conservatives and religious critics who claimed...
Religious what?
Critics, who claimed the Illuminati continued underground and were responsible for the French Revolution, actually. You know, it's funny, Voltaire was actually accused of being Illuminati. You know who Voltaire was?
Voltaire?
Yeah. The very highly regarded, what's it called? Theoreticist?
Theoreticist?
There you go. Theoreticist, okay. Yeah. I can't say the fucking word.
I think... Do you think that the Illuminati is tied in with the Knights Templar? Do you think maybe that they're...
Well, again, no, Freemasons were Knights Templar. See, actually, it's funny because the Illuminati and the Freemasons were kind of at war for most of history. And the Illuminati actually was funny because when all of these things started happening where the church started going after all these secret societies, all of a sudden the Illuminati disappeared. Just completely disappeared. For all accounts, it just disbanded. But it didn't really disband. What they did was they started sending secret agents to join other secret societies like the Knights Templar and the Freemasons and then recruit from inside to the Illuminati, saying, hey, I know you like the Freemasons, but you want money and power. You need to come on over here, buddy.
Right.
You want us to show you what's really going on. Come on over to our group. We got it. So they started recruiting in there. But it's interesting that they talked about the French Revolution. Because in 1797, 8 years after storming the Bastille and 2 years before Napoleon Bonaparte's coup d'etat, natural philosopher John Robinson and ex-Jesuit Abe Augustin Barruel both published accounts of the revolution that placed responsibility on the Illuminati. They argued that its members had a complex global plan to subvert the church, state, and society by infiltrating Masonic lodges and other institutions within the state. They had made their way deep into the French elite, and in the guise of Jacobins, which was a religious group, Jacobins.
Okay.
They overthrew the monarchy. That was spread by the clergy who passed it on to their congregation. So they read this and they said, hey, this is what's happening. We need to be careful about this. Now, in true Illuminati fashion, of course, it was thrown away as a conspiracy because everything involving this group, unlike the Freemasons and the Knights Templar and other groups, everything involving the Illuminati is pushed off as conspiracy. It's not real. We haven't been around since the early 1700s. Don't worry about us, guys.
Right.
Don't worry about us at all. While they're secretly and almost like double agent types infiltrating not only the Catholic Church, but the state. And they work their way into the French elite. And then all of a sudden, French Revolution happens. I'm not saying they're really good at what they do, but I'm saying they're really fucking good at what they do. They're really, really good.
I guess, though, if the Illuminati's goal is to overtake the Catholic Church, then they're doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, their original goal was to overthrow the Catholic Church. But then their goal became to seize power worldwide. They worked their way into every facet of every government in the country until they were the only ones that controlled everything. Now you fast forward a few 100,000 years or so, a few hundreds of years, and you got nowadays and they control everything. See, the Irish Rebellion of 1798, right? They claim that leaders of the fight against the British rule during the Irish Rebellion were organized in a hierarchical system of clubs that paralleled the supposed structure of the Illuminati. They say that the Illuminati allowed British conservative intellectuals to carve out aspects of Enlightenment thought that they liked while rejecting those associated with atheism, republicanism, and egalitarian ideals. Conventional figures like Voltaire and Rousseau were in the Illuminati. British thinkers John Locke, Isaac Newton, Francis Bacon were in. And this is interpreted by British conservatives and Christian traditionalists. So, you had this war going on, right? They had Isaac Newton, Francis Bacon, some of the best scientists of the time, Voltaire, right? All in here spreading these ideas that, hey, God isn't real. This is what's really going on. You know, you got, this is the planets, this is gravity, this is science, this is what's really going on. And you got the church going, no, you got to believe in God because we can't lose power.
I wouldn't necessarily say that they were saying God isn't real. I would say they were saying the God of the Bible isn't what you think it is.
Yeah. That they're using this. Yeah, they weren't even saying he's not real necessarily. What they were saying is they're using this to control you.
Yeah, God isn't real in the sense that the Catholic Church would have you believe that an old man is up in the sky watching every fucking move you make.
Yeah.
But see, I think we're getting to the point now where I don't... Shit. Like, if you ain't got the common fucking sense by now to understand that the Bible is just a story and that there's no possible fucking way in the world that it could be true. That some of, you know what I'm like, some of
yeah.
That it's just that, I mean, if you cannot use, I mean, what did Jesus say, dude? When I was a child, I thought like a child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when I became an adult,
it's time to put away childish things. And then you know what he was talking about? He was talking about that fucking book.
Right.
And you believing in it and continuing to let yourself be tricked like a little fucking child.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he was talking about. Put it away.
Well, even Jesus himself basically rebelled against religion.
Of course.
He said, the Jews...
He was a revolutionary, of course.
Yes, he said the Jews were using religion to control the people, and they were more corrupt than anybody they were preaching to.
He states it fucking plainly, like, get out of the church.
Yeah.
Get out of her, my people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then you never knew me.
Well, not only that, he
never knew me.
He got so pissed when he went there, and they're gambling and collecting money inside the church.
Oh, he
threw him out.
Threw a fit.
Yeah, he's like, no. This is
Absolutely.
This is not what the house of God was intended for.
Right.
Right. It wasn't for you to make money. Get the fuck out. All right? We're done.
Jesus' message was never for people to fucking take it to the point that it's been taken where blood has been shed all over the entire world in his name.
Still is.
The entire message is for you to live like Jesus.
And to love everybody.
Right.
And the thing is, most Christians, I say most because some, don't, but most Christians are the most hateful people in the world. They judge everyone.
Of course.
They're like, oh, you're gay? Well, you're going out.
Of course.
Well, who the hell are you to say that?
It's because that's what's been put into their brain. That's what they've been brainwashed with, is that it's okay to be like that because as long as you say that you believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to heaven. So you can be whatever kind of piece of fucking shit you want.
Right. As long as you say forgive me right before you die, you're good to go. Straight ticket to there.
As long as it comes from your mouth.
Right.
That's it.
Well, you ain't even got to come from your mouth. You just think it. He hears your thoughts. You think it right before you die, you're straight.
Good.
Ticket's good.
Good to go, buddy.
Got the ticket for the ride, baby.
So it doesn't matter.
That's right. You could be the biggest piece of shit.
People you raped, murdered.
Right.
Does not matter.
Right. Doesn't matter
how
if
many
you're...
lives you ruined.
It doesn't
how many
matter.
bombs you dropped.
If you were Jeffrey Dahmer eating motherfuckers, that's fine.
As long as Dahmer...
As long as he
confessed.
said, I'm sorry for what I did right before he got lethally injected.
I love you, Jesus.
Right to the Holy Land. Right to the Holy Land.
Yep.
That's right.
That's it. That's where he's at. Dahmer right now is in heaven, butt fucking corpses.
You're damn right. He's right there with Bundy. I'm sure Bundy right before
there
he
with
got
Jesus.
fried. Yeah. Bundy, I'm sure right before he got fried was like, I'm sorry for like murdering all those girls and raping corpses.
Dahmer and Bundy are all having dinner right now.
And Eileen Warnos is in the side thing going, I wish these motherfuckers would hurry up because I got some men's to kill.
Kill Jesus.
I swear he tried to rape me.
I'll suck his dick.
He tried to rape me.
Jesus tried to rape me.
I had to shoot him. I had no choice. I'm a victim.
We're all victims here.
Oh, God. Let's get back to the Illuminati. Anyways, back to the Illuminati. Did you know another thing about the Illuminati that supposedly they got Thomas Jefferson elected?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's interesting actually how it happened. The Dwight brothers and their allies were mobilizing opposition against Republican candidate Thomas Jefferson. They called him the candidate. They called him the candidate of none other than the Illuminati. But they couldn't have anticipated what came next. Their theories, once unleashed in the world, was turned back on them, upending the 1800 election and demonstrate the unique vulnerability of American democracy to the conspiracy theory. Especially during times of pitched cultural and ideological warfare. Now, you can say that was a conspiracy theory, or you can say that Thomas Jefferson won because he was part of the fucking Illuminati, and they do what they want. Right. Even George Washington himself wrote letters about how the Illuminati was infiltrating their peaceful Freemasons. So right there, it kind of shows you that George Washington was a Freemason, and they had their own plans and agendas. But the Illuminati kind of took it to, like I said, they're like the secret agents that work behind the scenes. You'll never know who they are, but they're there. And they're pulling the strings. See, they're pulling the strings on everything that goes on, even today. They really are. And that's genius. Because if you're going to be a secret society, it's like Christians say about Satan. What's the biggest thing that Satan ever did? To make the world believe he wasn't real. That's what the Illuminati did. They made the world believe that they weren't real.
Right.
That they weren't here anymore. It's all a big conspiracy theory. We haven't been around for years. But COVID-19, little play of the puppet strings. Russian-Ukraine war, little play of the puppet strings. And it's funny because if you look at things like that, there's got to be someone controlling, or someone's controlling all of it.
Yeah, of course.
Because Russia invades Ukraine. Now, the war's been around for a while. So they got to get people more involved, spice it up. So now they got people like Musk and other people saying, well, if Russia drops a bomb, if they drop the nuclear bomb, it's just going to be World War III. All out World War III. You got to add fear to it.
Bub.
Only way to control the people. Fear.
If there is a fucking war going on this planet, the one goddamn thing that I could pretty much guarantee you is at some point, the United States is going to be involved.
Oh, the United States is going to get bombed one of these days.
Yeah.
It depends on how...
Russia will drop a bomb on Ukraine, and here we'll come.
It depends on how much the United States is needed for the power plays that are in place that's going to happen in the future. See, these people that control the whole world, call them Illuminati, call them what you will, they're playing a game of Risk. You ever played the board game Risk, where you have an army, they have armies, and they're playing a giant real-world board game of Risk, and they're moving armies around the board, and they're like, is this country still valuable to us? Mm-hmm. Well, okay, we can still get value out of this country, so we're not going to let this country be bombed yet. But Ukraine, really, what does Ukraine really give us? A little bit of stuff, but it's enough that we can get by without it and cause a bunch of turmoil and get people looking over here so they're not looking over there. See what I'm saying? That's what the Illuminati's always done. Well, they get you looking at A while they're doing B.
Of course, it's magic.
Yeah. They're magicians.
But the end game ultimately is world domination. World domination and control of all resources on the planet. Mm-hmm. And so the wars are just a way to set up an end game.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody's fighting about oil.
No.
No, that's not what this is about. I mean, like you said, it's about moving. I would almost compare it more to chess.
Yeah.
You know, it's about strategically moving pieces around in order to plan the ultimate fucking final attack. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Which is world domination, new world order.
Right, and that's what they're called now.
And if you don't think that that's true, then you just need to ask yourself why it's called New York City.
Yeah.
Right? And New England.
Right.
Because if there's a New York City, then there had to be an Old York City.
Well, there is in England.
Of course there is.
Old York City.
Absolutely.
Well, it's York. It's not Old York. It's just York.
And it's power. Power moving to exactly to where they want it. And they're not even trying to hide it. And that's why it's called the Empire State.
Right. Well, look at it like this. Do you really think 9/11... Okay. With all our intelligence we have, all our satellites, all our scanning that we do over the skies of America, and all of the security we have in this country, do you really think that some Habibi motherfuckers got on a plane with nobody knowing it and rammed it into the World Trade Center? Of course not. Saddam wouldn't play ball with whoever is in power, and they said, look, motherfucker, you play ball or you'll regret it. And he said, fuck you, I'll keep my oil and do what I want. They said, okay, we warned you, son of a bitch. Watch what happens next. 9/11 happened. They used that as a jumping off point to go over there and take over Iraq, even though Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction whatsoever.
Nope.
It all in a way to upset the regime of Saddam Hussein so they could take what they got now, which is his oil supply.
Yeah, that all had to do with like OPEC.
Oh yeah. But you don't think OPEC's ran by this organization?
Well, it had to do with pulling money out of the United States banks. Some people were like tired of the bullshit.
Right.
We're fucking pulling, and we're talking about trillions of dollars.
What's the thing?
And then all that, it just, coincidence. Of course, it has nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with them guys hijacking them planes and crashing it into the World Trade Center.
No.
It just so happened that all the financial documentation for the OPEC and all these trillions of dollars that now, all of that information just happened to be in there. What a tragedy. And it just so happens that the only way that to keep the countries from pulling their assets out of United States banks was United States to keep that from happening under one reason. and that was if there was a disaster, basically.
Right. Yeah. National state of emergency.
National state of emergency.
Yeah.
Right. Which could be declared
the moment
we
were attacked.
Right.
But of course, it had nothing to do with that.
No.
Of course not.
Money.
No. People would not say.
Do you think that they killed innocent people over money?
Never. Not our government. Not our government.
Fuck out of here.
Hell no. We wouldn't come across the sea and land on some land that already belonged to Native Americans and slaughter them.
Everybody with half a brain knows that if you run a train into the fucking skyscraper, that's going to bring down the entire skyscraper.
Of course.
Because of the jet fuel.
It's the easiest way to do it. Easiest way.
And just to make sure 50 fucking stories high.
And just to make sure, you make sure there's 2 planes.
Oh, well, yeah.
2 planes, you definitely got it. Yeah. One might not do the whole job, so...
And, when buildings like that do collapse, they implode on themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the only 2 things that were actually hit was the World Trade Center. The one going to the Pentagon, obviously their pilots were jackasses and completely missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The plane over Pennsylvania was taken down, and they said it was by the people on the plane, but hell, how do we know?
Exactly.
Right. We weren't on the plane.
Exactly.
And all those people are dead. So there's nobody to tell you what really happened. I mean, the terrorists could have easily had orders to ram it right into a fucking field.
It's a fucking... that's obviously a fucking... complete fucking plane. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come on.
Like, well, if we just hit the Trade Center with 2 planes, and we hit the Pentagon with a cruise missile, but we'll call it a plane, it's still going to look a little fishy, guys, unless we have a fucking... a fourth plane that gets miraculously and heroically taken down.
Yeah.
But like you said,
something for people to get behind.
Like you said, my guess on what went on that plane is as good as your guess. It's as good as anybody's fucking guess, dude.
Right.
Nobody has a fucking clue.
Well, that's like World War II. Same
thing. Motherfucker gonna run out of gas.
Look here. You got a crazy motherfucker who's taking over the whole world. And you need to boost the economy of the whole entire world. What's a better way to boost the economy than a war?
That's what
Right.
That's exactly
and how do you get the war started and get all the people in the United States behind it? Well, you bomb Pearl Harbor, the nicest vacation spot in the world. Right. You attack Americans, and then all of a sudden everybody's behind that war. Let's get them.
Attack Americans.
Let's get them.
And that's, and so beware.
Right.
Because there's a war going on in Russia right now.
You're damn right.
And for the United States to get involved, we're going to get attacked.
Now, you know the Great Seal of the United States, right? Speaking of all of this, do you know the Latin phrase on it?
On what, the seal?
Mm-hmm.
Verdi...
Nubis? Ordo Seclorum. Do you know what?
New
World Order.
Yeah.
Or New Order of the Ages, exactly translated. I'm just saying, this is on the seal of the United States.
Yeah.
With the Freemason symbol clearly on it, with the Illuminati symbol of the all-seeing eye right above it. I'm not saying that it has anything to do with it, but just saying, maybe.
What's it say? It says something above, like on the top too, besides Noble Order.
A newt sepetus?
Our enterprise is a success.
Yeah, our enterprise is a success. And then under it, it says New Order of the Ages. So our enterprise is a success, New Order of the Ages. It's like right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's on your dollar bill.
Yeah. They just say it right out. It's not even hidden at this point. It's just like, look,
it's because they're not
this is what we're going to do.
It's because they're not allowed to deceive you without giving you the truth.
No, it's like a magician. Like I've always said, they do a sleight of hand. They let you see enough to just know that they're tricking you on the other side, and you don't see the trick because you're looking over here.
Or because you just refuse to look.
And see, the New World Order is a secret of power elite with a globalist agenda And they're conspiring to rule the world through an authoritarian one-world government. Now,
one government, one monetary system.
And I say they already do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not they're trying. They already do. Okay?
Their enterprise is a success.
Of course it is. Look at, okay, let's just start with recent events of Epstein. Did he really think he was going to take down those people? I don't know what he was thinking. Because they told him, shut up, Jeffy. Just shut up now.
Right.
You're dealing with people that you shouldn't be fucking with.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with the Clintons and the Bushes and the Trumps of this world because you will be crushed because they work for people that control everything. And you can try all you want to overthrow them. You can try to find out who they are, but you'll never ever see them. You'll never know who the ones that really tell Clinton what to do, or tell Trump what to do, or tell you who's elected president or to Congress. You'll never see what they're really doing because you'll never see those people.
Right.
Those people control it, but like you said, they're moving chess pieces. Do you think this whole thing with Trump is just random that they found classified documents? No, it was made that way. Somebody's orchestrating all of it.
Right. Oh, it's all orchestrated.
Of course. They want you to see this.
I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily think it's human beings that are controlling it either.
Well, a lot of people say it's lizard people.
It could be, yeah.
A lot of people say it's a race that was underground that is controlling it from underground, underneath the earth.
Makes sense to me.
A lot of people believe it was the Atlantis theory thing, where it's a group of people that existed way before us. And actually, it's interesting because if you look at it, the Illuminati uses what symbols in their organization? The pyramid, the all-seeing eye of Ra. All Egyptian symbols are all in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
And they're always in the United States.
Why? Yeah, and why is there an Egyptian pyramid on American money?
Right.
And I just seen something the other day where they were talking about all these pyramids basically being markers to underground tunnels.
Right.
So like if you're coming in from off planet, you find one of these pyramids. You know what I mean? How do all these pyramids? It doesn't fucking matter which one.
And
they all lead to underground tunnels.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the most interesting thing is, you don't find one pyramid in the North American continent. Not one. Everywhere else in the world there are pyramids, except in North America. Why? Why is there pyramids everywhere?
Or where are they?
Right. And
I would think there has to be.
Well, unless it was just abandoned when this race was around.
Either we haven't found them, or they're found, they're just hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, most recently, of course, the Georgia Guidestones was destroyed. You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were blown up and nobody knows who did it.
But there's also a fucking pyramid at the bottom of the fucking Atlantic Ocean in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
So, like, that's damn near North America, you know?
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
That's close.
So,
but this is the weirdest thing. Why? Okay, if these pyramids were not built by intelligent beings other than us, why are they in every single country?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they were just in Egypt, I could get along with the theory that, they weren't built by an intelligent race. Okay, it was just Egyptians and they knew more than we did, and there we go.
Right.
But it's every single country, and they're all built the same.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all built out of these stones that conduct electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're always built in religious areas. And, the similarities start to add up to, well, there's something here. I mean, it can't be called a conspiracy anymore when all these things start to add up. I mean, I'll throw away one as a conspiracy. Flat Earth, yeah, I throw that away as that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But when you've got pyramids on every continent, when you've got the government obviously controlling everything that goes on, okay, and not just in our country, in the whole world, when you've got a group of people that are clearly controlling the world like little puppets, I mean, something's got to be there. And who's to say that, like you said, that the people who built the pyramids aren't still here? They were just smart enough to maybe go underground.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe stay the fuck away from the retarded humans that were above ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just... Well, look at the global elite now. What, you think they don't have fucking multi-fucking-million-dollar bunkers that are built underground?
Right.
They absolutely do. And it's because we can fucking... you can fucking act like everything's all honky-dory all you want. The truth of the matter is, we're on a little fucking ball.
Yeah.
Flying through outer space at fucking 67,000 miles per hour.
Right.
Shit happens.
Right.
Right? We have no concept of time. It's hard because we only live 120 years max.
Right.
Things happen on this planet the same as every planet. Even if it takes 1,000,000 years, right? It doesn't matter. There will come a time where something will happen. If it doesn't wipe out everything on the fucking surface, it's going to wipe out damn near everything on the surface. Period. End of story. And the only way that you have a chance to survive, or the only things that do survive, are underground. And see, what happens is when a civilization gets advanced enough, like ours, anything that's going to happen cataclysmically like that, we're going to know in advance. Now, that's not going to save everybody, obviously. I mean, if we know that an asteroid's going to hit in a month,
right?
Well, what are we going to fucking... We better start digging. We're not going to fucking be able to build a fucking bunker...
No.
In enough time...
No, we're dead.
...to sustain our...
Yeah, we're dead.
Sustain... Because you can't just go underground. You got to go underground and be able to sustain life.
Right.
Reproduce it.
Right.
And continue on. Generations.
Right. If you're near a cave, you have an option.
Sure.
If you got low enough in a cave where there was underground water, you could probably live.
But what ultimately will be happening is there are people, as few as it may be, with all the fucking money, right? Whether they're on the surface, whether they're underground, whether they're in space, whether they're on the fucking moon, whether they're on Mars, they've got all the money.
Yeah.
They've got all the resources.
Yeah.
They're gonna live.
Oh yeah, they're gonna live.
They're not only gonna live, they're gonna live and maintain technology. They're going to maintain the same level of technology,
right.
And at some point, then, again, time be time as irrelevant in this scenario.
Right.
At some point, the Earth's surface will renew,
right,
and we'll be able to sustain life again. And wouldn't it make sense that the people that then were living underground the entire time, but still living the same way that we're living now, wouldn't it make sense that they would control?
Oh yeah, they'd rule everything,
right?
Because the people coming out of the caves,
just common sense.
Well, the people coming out of the caves would be back to prehistoric times, and the only people that would have anything would be the people underground.
And look at the Hopi and the Zuni. Look at these people's stories, of where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they come from? The ant people.
Well,
they came up out of the ground.
Have we ever discussed Mars? What they just learned about Mars recently?
No.
I didn't tell you that? I was reading this article.
I don't think so.
A scientist has now proven from analysis of the Mars rover he's analyzed certain areas of Mars. Okay? And there is an atomic signature in these areas that can only be produced one way. And that's if a made atomic bomb was detonated above the planet's surface. Naturally, it cannot be produced.
Yeah, it's some kind of isotope that's
in
isotopes.
The atmosphere. Right above the ground.
Yeah.
That he found that cannot be produced naturally. He said it's only produced when you make an atomic weapon. So he's proved that there were atomic weapons on Mars, and it wiped out complete life on that planet.
And if you look at the Valles Marineris, why would one of the smallest planets in the solar system have the deepest canyon?
Correct.
I mean, it's 4 times as deep as the Grand Canyon. And if you look at like, I seen a dude doing a test. He had like a board, and he shot it with electric volt, and dude, it makes the same exact pattern as the Valles Marineris.
Right.
Exact same. And scientists say that's not, like, that wasn't made by running water or any of the conventional theories. That's not how this was made.
It was made by a bomb.
It very well could, yes. Right. Like, it looks like there was some kind of, and it may, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bomb. Who knows what kind of technology we're talking about. Right. But the other thing is, like, you're not just bombing. You're not just going to bomb it to be bombing it.
Yeah.
If you're bombing it, that means somebody was on there.
Yeah.
You're bombing.
Right.
Or hitting with some kind of bolt of electricity.
Well, that's what they said about Mars. They said there had to have been a war on Mars, and from all analysis of this, it was billions of years ago, way before the first known life was ever on the Earth. Mm-hmm. But this is my point. If you're a species and bombs are starting to drop and you can get off the fucking planet, where's the next place you might go? Mm-hmm. The closest planet. I mean,
because
if you have the ability to bomb,
you're not going to fucking try to get to Jupiter.
No, because Jupiter's nothing.
Well, because you'd have to go through the asteroid belt.
Well, not only that, it's nothing. It's a big gaseous giant. You would go to the next planet that could support life. And that closest planet to do that, next to the Mars that they're bombing to hell, would be Earth. And who's to say that the people that were on Mars didn't come down here and start to rebuild their society?
And then that makes logical sense, because look what we're doing now.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to fucking Mars, and I'll be damned if we ain't bombing our fucking selves out here.
Right.
I mean, this could be a fucking literal fucking back and forth. This could be a back and forth that's been going on since the beginning of time. That could be what it literally could just be us.
Right.
Going from Earth, blowing each other up again, better go back to Mars. Blowing each other up again, better go back to Earth. I mean, that literally could be what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we're on Mars, we're terraforming, we get it going.
Because it never made sense to me either that Mars not having an atmosphere is like chalked up to the sun somehow.
Yeah.
Well, but we're fucking closer to the sun than Mars is.
Right.
So why is it the sun not burning up no.
Yeah.
I don't buy that, dude. I buy the theory that somebody fucking set a humongous fucking explosion onto that planet, and that would make fucking sense.
Many of it.
Because that's going to blow
the atmosphere away. Yeah. Especially if you set it off above ground. Yes. If it was blown off in the air, like we did with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it didn't hit Hiroshima. It blew up above Hiroshima and eliminated everybody around it.
And dude, that Valles Marineris, it's so deep, and I mean, we're talking like 1,000 miles wide. So that not only is going to blow the atmosphere up, I mean, then that would explain why it would dry up too.
Right. Yeah, that's why you'd have a barren wasteland eventually, because without an atmosphere, the sun would then cook the planet. So yeah, at one time...
Isn't it funny, too, how all like the stories in the Bible and shit in Revelation all talk about barren wastelands?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
apocalyptic barren wastelands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, and that makes sense to me that there could have been a species that we didn't know about that came here way before us, was on this planet from Mars, and then we came along, and their species sunk into the ocean, went underground, what have you, but they're still controlling everything, just somewhere else.
And dude, it sends me back to like the Book of Enoch,
right?
When the fallen angels were fucking literally banned. Their literal punishment was to stay here
in the earth.
In the earth,
right? And they came from the heavens.
It cracks me up too, when it talks about there were giants in the earth in those days.
But who's to say they didn't come from Mars? And this whole religion thing is these people that came from the sky. Because to us, back then, they would have been gods.
Yeah.
They would have been all-powerful, because they had technology that we didn't understand. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was, I think this is episode 71. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is. Pretty sure.
I'm hoping.
It's close.
Yeah. And for all of you that like our YouTube, Arrow is going to release, for all you Arrow fans out there, which there's quite a few of you. Actually, it's funny. We have 96 to 98 views of this Arrow thing, like all the time, on the YouTube there. And we only have 49 people here, so there's obviously people watching the YouTube that aren't listening to the podcast. So, but for all you Arrow fans out there, and I know you're out there because, again, I see the downloads, and people are still downloading the Nicolepsy and Arrow interviews, so they do enjoy them. There's going to be a couple new songs from old Arrow, hopefully soon with videos released on the old YouTube. I've got 4 of them that Arrow recorded for us, and they're on the computer here, but I have not got around to getting with Arrow to get the videos for them. So as soon as Arrow does the videos, we'll make sure we put them on there for you, because I know you guys like them. And also coming up, as last year, me and Jason are going back to the old North Pole.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one, releasing our Christmas special. I heard that this year Nick and Arrow might come and join us.
I heard Miss Claw got a boob job.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard, I heard not only did she have a boob job, but the elves got a song about a big boobed elf, and
this is a miracle.
A whole kinds of things for him.
I asked Santa for some plastic puppies.
Well, hey, when Santa's gone, the wife does play. We all know that.
Yes, she does.
Yes, we can't wait for the Christmas special here in a couple months. You guys hold on. We're coming out with more stuff. But I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Later.